Here, we visit the story of Nagananda Kodituwakku, or Naga as known to most people, and ask what happened to his presidential campaign. Naga is arguably the most outspoken lawyer in Sri Lanka's recent history and is well known for his uncompromising stance against corruption. He's charged multiple corrupt judges, and his tax fraud cases alone are worth in excess of $125 million, and he's done all of this for free. However, with constant postponements, all his efforts seem futile. In fact, Naga was suspended from practice for 3 years for refusing to be heard by a judge who'd been charged for corruption. Unlike other democracies where governance is under 3 independent branches, Sri Lanka's constitution permits the parliament control of the judiciary, so MPs won't really be sanctioned for their illegal activities. Therefore, in 2017, Naga began his campaign using his own personal funds. His plan was to contest the presidential election in 2019, not to simply become president, but to use the election as a referendum for the people to bring forth a new constitution without the parliament. It was an ingenious idea for a social revolution. The current constitution states that sovereignty is in the people and it cannot be taken away. Therefore, a unanimous vote cannot be overruled. Then, a new people-centric constitution was designed to restore the rule of law and prosperity. It upholds the people as the supreme authority with an independent judiciary and no tolerance for corruption. It promoted equality and installed robust fundamental rights to improve the quality of life for all. Naga has thus far been funding the campaign alone, and for support he turned to the people. Most of the financial support came from Sri Lankans residing abroad, as they could see the contrasting lives they led due to a stable government that respected the rule of law. Even here, Naga wanted to ensure transparency and a paper trail, and therefore did not accept cash donations. Around $70,000 was raised over 2 years, and using this money, a team of people worked to spread his message. He amassed a following of over 2 million people and sparked debates about the Constitution. In the midst of the campaign, Naga had to find a party to contest from. He wasn't able to contest independently as he's not an MP. The only option was an existing party, and after many discussions, he settled on the Okamawasio party and signed an agreement. This is when the other parties started to take note. They couldn't allow Naga's mission to succeed, as this would destroy their monopoly. They planted people into the campaign to leak information. They tapped phones and wrote letters to the UK Home Office, Inspector General of Police, and Election Commission. The campaign became difficult, but with the support of his followers, Naga was ready to fulfill the conditions in the agreement. Nomination deadline was nearing, and 2 days prior, Naga was waiting to submit his candidacy with the party secretary, but the secretary did not attend. He later told Naga that he cannot offer nomination even though all conditions were met, and instead told him to support Mahesh. Naga was left with hours to find an alternative. The remaining parties started to demand over $55,000 in return for his nomination, a completely illegal activity. Naga could not comply. He stood for rule of law and transparency. He cannot start his mission by committing an offense. So what actually turned the tables? The secretary was approached by members of the opposing parties and managed to convince him into rescinding Naga's nomination. We wouldn't speculate on what influenced the decision, but an audio recording of the secretary describing the event in detail exists, a recording yet to be released by its possessor. Naga has since charged the secretary for the criminal breach of trust. His actions directly deprive the people a chance to vote for a social revolution. Naga campaigned for 2 years and all of his work destroyed in the final hours. Yet, Naga felt obliged to show his supporters exactly what happened and conducted many interviews and disclosed audited accounts for the entire campaign, an action that no other candidate has done to date. Then began the character assassination of Naga. Having already lost so much, social media and other parties began to tarnish Naga's unblemished character with lies and raise doubts within impressionable people. Nonetheless, Naga persevered and has submitted the registration of his own party, Sri Lanka Vinivida Peramuna, and will contest the 2020 parliamentary elections as an independent party in Colombo. The mission remains the same: to expose the system and offer people the chance to vote for the system change.